Magsabayan at magkwentuhan. Magandang buhay, kapamilya, maraming matututunan. Magandang buhay, kasama tuwing umaga. Magandang buhay, kayo ay laging masaya. Kaya halika na sa magandang buhay. Makulay ang buhay. Makulay ang buhay kung ang will mo ay tunay.
Welcome sa ating first episode for Ma𝗞ጵhi𝘁ang Buhay. For our first episode, let's dive right in sa ethical theory ng ating head producer at ang reason para sa pagsisimula ng show na ito, Immanuel Kant. Our head producer, Immanuel Kant, was born in 1725 and is one of the most prominent thinkers of the Enlightenment. His most significant works are Groundwork in the Metaphysics of Morals, Critique of Practical Reason, and Metaphysics of Morals, which all support his moral philosophy. Kant's ethical theory can be understood further through his book entitled Groundwork in the Metaphysics of Morals. The theory of deontology is important to understanding Kant's ethics since both indicate that our actions are duty-bound and that we are morally obligated to act on said duty, our principles, and rules regardless of what the outcome may be. Kant's theory is unlike any other religious deontological theories because his theory derives maxims from human reason.
So, for Kant, the most important factor in life that would judge our actions and our conformity to our duty is our good will. This is essentially the will to do the right thing. So, according to Kant, the goodwill is good in itself and is not just based on the outcomes or consequences. The goodwill solely considers the moral worth of our action. So, making use of the goodwill to exercise an action will make an action that is good without other qualifications. So, Kant says that the other things in this world that we deem as good, such as character, money, or success, they may be good, but they're not good by themselves. So, these things are easily corrupted and they get easily misused. So, simply put, sabi ni Kant, ang mga good acts ay ginagawa natin hindi para sa makukuha natin mula dito.
What if gumawa ka nga ng good act pero hindi ka naman masaya? Ox lang yan ayon kay Kant. Sabi nga niya sa book niya, it's either masaya ka or hindi. Ang importante ay mabuti ka. Kung naman meron kang unhappy life, that's still okay. Kasi sabi ni Kant, your goodwill will still, and I quote, shine like a jewel. Compared to utilitarianism, which justifies any act that would lead to the main goal of achieving happiness, deontological theories such as Kant's hold that some actions are wrong even if they lead to the desirable outcome. Kung naman happiness ang goal mo sa life, sabi ni Kant, your actions should be about instinct and not reason. Ibig sabihin lang nito, Kant wants people to have innately good intentions. On the other hand, if the person is acting based on reason, or if may dahilan siya sa ginagawa niya, kailangan siguraduhin na mabuti or good in itself pa rin ang kanyang ginagawa. Overall, ayon kay Kant, good actions are only good if they are purely done, and in respect of the so-called moral law. In short, dapat walang hidden agenda sa ginagawa natin or dapat we're not in it for recognition. Sabi ni Kant, kung mabait ka, dapat mabait ka lang. Huwag ka daw plastic.
Gaya nga ng sabi kanina, ang ethical theory ni Kant ay isang deontological theory or duty-focused. Duty, according to Kant, is a necessary action with respect for the law. Kaya dapat mga kaKantsters, action must be done from duty. Meron ding 4 na iba pang motives for duty na sinasabi si Kant na sinabi na kung saan a dutiful action from any of these motives does not express a goodwill kahit gaano pa kabuti ito. Una ay ang motives of self-interest. Isang halimbawa na nag-illustrate dito ay ang kaso ng isang prudent merchant na hindi nag-overcharge. Shala, naway lahat! Pero kaya pala siya hindi nag-overcharge dahil naniniwala siya na kapag nakilala siya sa ganitong paraan ng pagtinda, mas dadami ang kanyang customers, mas dadami pa ang kita. Pero kahit natapat siya magtinda, hindi ito morally commendable dahil, ayun nga, motivated ito ng self-interest. Pangalawa ay ang motives of self-preservation. Sabi ni Kant, people have a powerful immediate inclination in favor of the preservation of their own life. That is why when they refrain from suicide, they're doing the right thing. Dito, walang special moral motivation. Pero sa case naman ng isang tao na nawalan na ng gana sa buhay dahil sa sabay-sabay na problema but still refrains from suicide, that person is acting from duty. Kaya ang kanyang maxim ay moral content. Pangatlo, motives of sympathy. Tignan naman natin ito sa lagay ng isang philanthropist. Walang morally commendable sa pagiging isang philanthropist nito, lalo na kung kumikilos ito for self-gratification. Pero, subalit datapwat kung ang kanyang sympathetic inclinations ay nabura dahil kunwari nawalan na siya ng pera, pero tumutulong pa rin siya sa iba. Masasabi natin na unconditional ang kanyang goodwill dahil hindi ito nakadepende sa kanyang estado sa buhay. 4 at panghuli, motives of happiness. According to Kant, happiness is the idea of getting the most out of all our desires. But it is impossible to satisfy all of them because single inclinations are frequently undermined by happiness. Kaya tayo ay may indirect duty para i-promote ang happiness natin. Dahil kapag hindi na-fulfill yung mga desires natin, syempre, unhappy tayo. And unhappiness can tempt one to transgress from duty. Maaari tayong gumawa ng masama, tulad ng magnakaw, para lang masatisfy tayo. Syempre, I guess naman yarn, my friend.
Okay, so moving on, Kant's concept of morality is following the fundamental law of morality or yung tinatawag natin na categorical imperative. Yung categorical imperative, later na siya i-discuss. So don't worry mga Kantsters, listeners, or something. So Kant has 3 propositions of being moral. Yung first one, according to Kant, acting from duty is the only kind of action with moral worth. The second one, an action performed from duty derives its moral worth not from its purpose but from the maxim that determines its purpose. So ano nga ba yung maxim na yan or something? Kanina pa siya naririnig. Bali yung maxim, mga Kantsters, dictionaryers or something, ay isang rule. Ito lang yung rule na nagko-connect ng action natin to the reason kung bakit natin ginagawa yung action na to. So in short, ano nga ba yung motivation, goal, or pwedeng context ng ating action? So important lang naman na yung action natin ay good or pure kasi yun lang naman yung gusto ni BFF Kant. So lastly, important kay Kant na we act with respect from the law. Kasi according to Kant, ang law na good in itself ay ang categorical imperative. Para, para may suspense, mamaya na siya i-explain, para mas ma-explain siya ng maayos, di ba?
Even though ayon kay Kant ay importanteng duty focus ang ating actions with respect to the law, it is impossible rin naman daw to do actions for the sake of duty alone. I-recognize ni Kant na mixed ang ating motives. This is why he presents an a priori argument for moral reality. Baka iniisip nyo, Hoy reporter, ano bang meaning ng a priori? Well, mga ka-Kantsters, ang meaning lang ng a priori ay from the former. Simply put, dahil meron ng established terms ng moral reality, this means na meron na tayong i-follow as rational beings. Ayon din kay Kant ay constant ang established terms of morality for everyone. Sabi ni Kant, kailangan ito para merong clear and powerful influence to behavior para sa lahat. At hindi lang kung ano ang popular o ginagawa ng karamihan ang ginagawa natin. Hindi yung kunyari mabait ka pero clout chaser ka lang pala. Ibig sabihin, kung ano mabuti para sa akin ay dapat mabuti para sa lahat. Yan ang sana all.
Okay. Since humans are rational beings that can be actively aware of moral laws, Kant came up with 2 domains of the moral landscape of humans. These 2 domains are the objective domain and the subjective domain. The objective domain concerns the laws and reasons that may govern our will, while the subjective domain concerns the individual's needs and interests. In relation to this, the hypothetical imperatives are commands that an individual follows if they want something more. Technically, gumagawa lang ng isang bagay kung may kailangan siya makuha. On the other hand, categorical imperatives are commands followed regardless of any circumstances, desire, or any underlying reason.
So, the first formulation of the categorical imperative na kanina pa namin sinususpense, just to stir things up, is universalizability. Oh, tongue twister. As the name suggests, this would concern an action that may be considered universally moral or good for everyone. So, how can we identify if an action can be universal? So, simple lang yan, mga ka𝗞ಸ್ಥers, stationariners. Imagine mo lang na lahat ng tao, ginagawa mo. So, let's watch this report as an example. As a simple example, lying. Maring situation na magtutulak talaga sa atin na magsinungaling, ganon. Pero, according to Kant, bago natin gawin ng isang act, kailangan muna natin isipin kung paano na lang kung lahat ng tao ginawa rin yun. So, in this situation, if we lied, that makes lying a universal law for everyone. So, lahat na lang ng tao magsisinungaling. And that shouldn't happen kasi if it does, parang wala nang magtitiwala sa kahit sino man. So, according to Kant, making exemptions for one's self isn't allowed. So, no matter what happens, bawal magsinungaling mga ka𝗞స్థers, or something.
Teka. May question ako. What if may situation na may killer kunyari? Tapos, tinatanong ka kung nasan ako kasi papatayin niya raw ako. Di ba dapat sa situation na yun pwede nang magsinungaling? Anong gagawin mo, ha?
And a trick question na yan, ha? Siyempre, sasabihin ko yung totoo. Like, kasi ganito yan. Ay, sa perspective ni Kant, like, based sa perspective niya, if I lied, pero hindi ko sinabi kung nasan ka, tapos namatay ka pa rin, or na-deads ka, ganun. And that's on me. Pero, if sinabi ko yung totoo, tapos namatay ka, hindi ka kasalanan yan, like, kasalanan ng killer yan or something. So, So, sabi kasi ni Kant na one shouldn't violate the moral law by any means. So, kahit pa for good cause yan, dapat di mo siya i-violate. Okay?
Okay. Anyway, ang second formulation of the categorical imperative ay ang formula of humanity. Sabi nga ni Kant, act in such a way that you treat humanity, whether in your own person or in the person of any other, never merely as a means to an end, but always at the same time as an end. This basically means na we shouldn't treat other humans as means to achieve a goal. Kant says humans should be treated as ends and never as means. In short, huwag kang gumamit ng ibang tao. If we treat humans as end in themselves, we are able to recognize their humanity. A simple example of this would be wasting talents away. Yung buong araw wala kang ginawa kundi humaylata lang. Kant views this as against the second formulation since humans have the duty to be able to cultivate their own talents. By wasting away your talents, you do not recognize your own worth and therefore are not able to treat yourself as an end in itself.
The next formulation of the categorical imperative is the formula of autonomy. Actually, this formulation is not explicitly mentioned in the book. Pero alam niyo na, mga ka𝗞ಸ್ಥers, lakas masasabi eh. Kaya, ito na, okay? Ayon kay Kant, the formula of autonomy typically means one should act as a legislator of universal law. With this mindset, one is able to self-govern or self-legislate their own principles of actions in accordance with the universal law. Importante kasi kay Kant na di tayo napipilitan sundan ang moral law. Ayon sa kanya, it is not enough to be a follower of the moral law. Need talaga na following it is upon our own volition.
Okay, nice. Pero what if? What if? Just to stir things up lang a little. What if merong situation na hindi mo alam kung anong pipiliin mo? Like, pwede ba yan? What if may moral dilemma yon? Moral dilemma na lang. So, paano natin sasolusyonan if ganun yung situation na may moral dilemma ka, ganun? If ibe-base mo sa ethical theory ni Kant or something,
Trick question pa ulit yan. Ayon kay Idol Kant, there should never be a conflict of duty. Sabi ni Kant, if feel mo kailangan mong pumili between duties you have to fulfill, baka naman yung isa or ilan dyan ay hindi naman talaga duty at all. This essentially means that the individual feels an obligation that is not sufficient enough to move them to act. May example ako dyan. Ito ang what if. What if gusto kong mag-improve sa pag-play ng guitar? Pero the only way I know would be to speak in a bar that allows people to play anytime. I'm 18 and the bar only allows patrons aged 21 years old and up. Tapos someone asks me if 21 na ba ako. Should I lie and keep performing at the bar to improve my skills like Kat said? Or should I be truthful even though I lose the opportunity to develop my talent? Actually, easy lang i-identify kung alin ang morally right sa dalawa. In this situation, Kant doesn't say that one should only develop the specific talent of playing guitar in that specific way of sneaking into a bar that doesn't allow underage patrons. On the other hand, there is an a priori rule that has always prohibited lying, which means, in this situation, one should be truthful despite it taking away the opportunity to improve one's guitar skills. This means that I should be truthful and just find another way of developing my talent that wouldn't have to put myself in a situation where I have to lie to improve myself.
Here are 6 bullet points to summarize our report. The first one, goodwill is the will to do the right thing. It's the only thing which can be regarded as good without qualifications. As a deontological theory, Kant's ethical theory depends on the action alone and not on its outcomes. Despite the possibility of leading to an unhappy outcome for the person, the goodwill is still of utmost importance. Morality is an a priori idea according to Kant because this makes the moral reality a clear and constant idea for everyone. Hypothetical imperatives are actions done toward a certain goal, while categorical imperatives are followed regardless of outcomes. And finally, following duties should never have complications according to Kant. That's all. Thank you mga ka𝗞stitutionarians or something.
Magandang buhay sa umaga, ayun at magkwentuhan. Magandang buhay, kapamilya, maraming matututunan. Magandang buhay, kasama tuwing umaga. Magandang buhay, kayo ay laging masaya, kaya halika na sa magandang buhay.